So this is a valid note that would hold up in court. It is factual. The statements written there are true. It's signed by Peter Horak, my best friend, and it's a valid signature. He confirms it's his handwriting. He wrote it, although he doesn't remember the event. I did throw water, Netta, in your face. I did. I'm sorry. I'm generally sorry. I threw water, but it generated this evidence that's going to reveal everything. The 2-hour conversation you had with Anita before you came to my house. The conversations you had with her about reporting, lying to the police and saying Peter wasn't there. So right there is evidence you lied to the police, because the police said you reported to them that Peter wasn't there. You saying here had him sign. I'm assuming you had him sign this. I was present, Netta came. You reported to police. He wasn't. That's why they came in without a warrant, intentionally provoking me. So that provocation. So what did you say when you came in, Netta? I'm sorry I have to do this. I think it's a cry for help on your behalf, and we see it through. And what I'm doing will get a lot of people into trouble. I've been backed into a corner intentionally with these methods for 4 years to do something, and this is it. For years, from the very beginning, Netta, yours and my relationship has been, statement from you from the beginning was, you're doing for me, but I hope you're not expecting anything for return. This is same kind of relationship my mom had with my dad. My mom picked my dad intentionally to exploit him, take advantage of him, to take from him and hurt him in exchange. That's the kind of mom she is. Look up Till Swan, Doll Syndrome, look up Devouring Mother, Jordan Peterson. Search those on YouTube, you'll find out what it is. So you like that, Netta, and I'm with you because my mom is like that. With me, she had kids to use as torture dolls, and then I end up with a girlfriend who uses me in the same way. Now, I met you through my client, Jeremy Bernstein, whose mom uses him and everybody in that house, including myself, a caregiver, in that fashion. Diane Bernstein, Jeremy Bernstein's mom, had everybody there sign non-disclosure agreements and threatened to sue them if they reported the abuse Jeremy Bernstein has been getting all his life, in order to prevent him becoming independent. You see, Diane keeps Jeremy dependent on her so she can get the riches that she gets from the regional center. We noticed that from the beginning. The therapist that in whose office we met noticed that the amount of caregivers, behaviorists that she's getting, she knows how to exploit the system. A money-making factory. The way they blackmail Jeremy himself to not report the abuse he's getting, because he keeps saying everything's fine. When I reported Adult Protective Services, they turned off the main power switch to the video games, Fortnite, that he used to play. He says he plays something different now, but he was addicted to that, and that's how they manipulate him, using his dependency on that game. Because when they turn off the main power switch to that room that has the desktop where he plays that game he's addicted to, he gets physical. That's the first time I started that job. I was shown that switch downstairs. 100% the reaction. He says, you turn that off, I'll get physical. And he does. He can't help it. He has autism. He's a special needs kid. He's special to me. He's my best friend. So they use that to blackmail him because he's been in facility for, you get locked up if you hit people. And he doesn't want to be locked up. So they use that to blackmail him. They provoke him to get physical. And then they use that to against him, to blackmail him. And then that blackmailing is used on everyone there. I have the video of my conversation with my coworker and other best friend, good friend of mine, Eric Astadan, who doesn't talk to me because I posted that public video of our conversation. We're all mandated reporters. All of us, except me, was supposed to sign the non-disclosure agreement to not, and then threaten to not report it, or else we would be sued for violating the non-disclosure agreement. And so that method to provoke someone to get a reaction, to get them arrested, that's what's been used on me. The squatters started using that year and a half, keep provoking me, bringing gang members to sell fentanyl, and the cops refusing to enforce the restraining order against her that Tanya helped me get. And then Tanya got me arrested, put me in jail for 3 days by touching that same sword that the squatter had been using a year and a half, intentionally to cover up for the murder of their dad, which their family, Richard Holloway, is involved in Bryan, Texas. And I was telling the cops at West Valley Police Station and Devonshire Police Station. I have the video. I've been telling them about this, and the cops at Bryan, Texas, and the cops at Moore, South Carolina, where Tanya was living before he came to Bryan, Texas. Her brother brought Tanya to Bryan, Texas for their dad's funeral, whose name is also Richard Holloway, who used to be a Vietnam veteran. And he was murdered, it was told by Tanya, because of his involvement with the mayor there. So I would think this is enough to open an investigation, which is what I've been asking, for the cover-up of the murder of Richard Holloway in Bryan, Texas, Tatiana Dekiva's dad. And the cover-up was perpetrated by poking at the sword and provoking me to want to get the phone away. And I have all the recordings. Tanya tells everyone she was the one hitting me because I was trying to get the phone away, because she would refuse to play that gang music that the squad was playing every night and refusing to stop. And we had to leave that house because we were threatened by those gang members. We went to mom's house, and the cops over there refusing to help us there. And I'll post that video, the cops from Devonshire Police Station. Hundreds and hundreds of false 911 calls, malicious and intentional. Both police stations are refusing to take the report of those violations, 911 abuse. They're refusing to show the 911 calls from both addresses to cover up this method, to back me up in a corner for 4 years, keep provoking, poking at the sword with false 911 calls, defamation of character, saying all the bad things to the people closest to me to isolate me, financial abuse for 4 years, getting rid of my dog so I lose my job, and then constantly repeating the same thing Anita has been saying, and her dad and Albert Jordan, there's something wrong with you, Zeke. You should go to psychiatrist, get medication. And I'll post psychiatrist sessions where they do not prescribe medication. That method used in this operation, in collaboration between cops, gang members, greedy family members, cult members in Bryan, Texas, Mike Velarde over there in Palm Beach, Florida. Everybody collaborating together, targeting an individual, but doing it in a way that stays below the radar, not to get noticed. Well, cover up for a murder is enough to start a case, an investigation. They're saying that's over in Bryan, Texas. Well, the cover-up happened over here. It was an arrest that happened a couple of weeks ago. And Tanya went into hiding to not reveal that she triggered me intentionally at the instructions of her brother to cover up for the murder of their dad. Missing persons report was filed. And Detective Park in West Valley is investigating, calling Peter about me, calling Neda, asking Neda what's Zeke's relationship with Peter. So tomorrow I'll come talk to you, Detective Park. It's okay, you will talk to me, and it's okay, we document that conversation. Are you going to cover up? Are you going to tell me I spoke, I listened to you, now you talk. You came in here talking about something, now you're talking about something different. All of them keep using that method to block communication for 4 years, stonewalling. That you're going to have to claim your whistleblower protection rights and report the corruption guys have been busy covering up for 4 years. That's why you don't want this revealed. But if there's murder going on, you can't cover up a murder. That is a crime, and the murderer is out running around. He could kill somebody because you're covering up. That would be a real embarrassment to your police station, because I've reported murderers on the run. I was arrested to cover up for that murder. The investigation, impeding investigation of a murder is a horrible. It's a crime. The whole bunch of you who've been stonewalling, preventing, in order to protect your fellow officers, the corruption there. So